Oh, Captain, can we find where the treasure be? I see beyond the sea. Oh, Captain, can we go on a journey? Follow me, we shall go foreign.
Let me turn the video game down. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So this is, if you're familiar with it, this is Honest Trailers. They're game trailers specifically, and this is Diablo Immortal. I like that intro.
After creating a gaming experience that defined an entire genre and carefully preserved its reputation by only releasing a sequel once a decade, discover what happens when Blizzard sheds every designer that matters and finally falls prey to the eventuality all video game IPs will face. Getting a watered-down mobile version that doesn't even pretend that it's not trying to grind money out of you like you're a Nephilim rich.
Have phones? Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Diablo
Oh no.
Immortal. Welcome to the future that this random guy
Oh,
in a red
no.
shirt warned us about,
Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
where phones are now powerful enough to run an
Oh, that red
experience that kind of
shirt
looks
guy.
like Diablo 3, but they still haven't figured out the part where it sucks ass to play. As the sliver of skill and concentration that the PC franchise required is tossed aside for sliding your
Yeah.
greasy thumbs all over a tiny screen, auto-running to the next objective while you fall asleep on the bus, and loosely
Oh my
slapping your
gosh.
abilities around at anything that moves, in an experience that
It does have auto running. It doesn't seem to have auto play at least.
reviewers will call the best ARPG you can play on a phone, ignoring the fact that the rest of them feel about as fun as giving your grandparents an oil massage.
Oh, no.
Not that playing it on the PC is that much better, unless you're a fan of playing the cookie-clicker version of Diablo. Discover an adventure somehow more repetitive than a normal Diablo storyline, set in between the existing games when an ancient evil has yet again been awakened. You'll choose a champion from a team of the exact same guys from Diablo 3.
Yep.
Using largely the same abilities, and meeting up with all of the same guys from the real game.
Yep.
As you run around really familiar set dressings, where except for the usual expansive maps, they've been streamlined into extremely bite-sized chunks, as you quest to find 3 of a thing that you'll be guided to immediately, to fight a boss that you'll mash attack
This
until
is-
it dies.
Oh my gosh, this is so accurate. Here's the thing, like with the voice acting and everything in the beginning, it kind of manages to trick you.
And watch a cutscene to get shot to a new area to do the same thing over again. All of which combine to remind you that you could be playing a better version of this at
Oh
all
my gosh,
times.
yep.
And make the differences feel like exactly what it is. A mundane imitation that you're supposed to no-brain while taking a shit. Take out a second mortgage to prepare for the actually terrible
no.
part of Diablo Immortal, the microtransactions. As the game gives you a solid 8-ish hours of leveling with relatively few upsells.
Westy, if you're here, have you like followed the Diablo Immortal stuff at all?
Then grinds to a halt as you run into level limits for story quests, forcing you to grind
Or
away
anyone
the same
who's here.
content over and over again, essentially stretching out 15 hours of actual gameplay into 30. Or of course
Yeah.
you could just fork over some cash and make the game fun again, until you run into another gate a couple of hours later, and God
Yep.
forbid you get to the end game, where you'll endlessly grind hoping for legendary gems that will never drop for you, that you'll need to even contend in the pay-to-win PvP mode that you'll probably just stop playing once you get steamrolled by a character someone dropped a couple $100s on. All accumulating to an experience that will put off even people that initially liked this housefire of a game, leaving
Yep.
only Saudi princes and whales that clearly need a gambling intervention to flex on the poors, or
I mean, he ain't wrong. And like, as far as PvP in Diablo, I know people want it, but that's not something that I've ever been into in a Diablo game. So I was never going to play that personally. If y'all like it, have fun with it. Just not my thing.
So you would think. In a system which technically you don't have to pay to play, if you don't plan on doing the endgame, PvP, or basically anything else that Diablo at this point is known for. You know, I think the most nefarious thing about this whole thing is the fact that you essentially have to work for the loot box that you paid for.
Yep.
Which at this point, you're paying less for the items and more for the pain.
That's how they get around the loot box laws, though, is that it's playable. That's how they're trying to get around with it. It's not really working.
Honestly, just pay someone to step on your balls. You'll probably save a lot more money. So clean that phone screen and get your parents' credit card ready. For a game that is a ridiculously obscene attempt at maximizing monetization at worst and a middling mobile title at best. In a bitter experience that doesn't come from a lack of technical prowess, but from watching a thing you love get processed by the same garbage content churning machine as everything else. Also, if you thought the reception for Immortal was bad, it'll be 1,000 times worse if any of these systems pop up in D4.
Oh,
Unless
yeah.
they had enrolling
Oh, my
for anime girls
gosh.
or topless men, then it's totally justified. Starring Sigma Grindset,
Oh, gosh.
Snooze Satyr, Renfair Raver, Kung Fu Hustler, Leaderboard Hunter, and Actual Cancer. Diablo Shadow Legends. I mean, come on. A Diablo game without inventory management? That's sacrilege. It's like making a sneaker without child labor. Tell us what you'd like to hear in my epic voice in the comments below. I'm gonna propose to my girlfriend when we get back to base. I even bought flowers. I was eating those beans. It was dark. I was in my tower when the ninjas attacked. Look behind you. No, not there. In the closet.
Oh my gosh.
You flicked too hard, damn it.
That dude does have an awesome voice. But yeah, I mean, it was all accurate. It was all painfully accurate. Which is sad.
I see beyond the sea. Oh, Captain, can we find where the treasure be? I